I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world?
The Paris sky was still wet with a light drizzle when the news spread like lightning. Kim Taehyung, the V of BTS, had left the city of love. The deafening cheers of last night were suddenly replaced by the stifled sobs and blank stares of fans standing frozen in the airport. The scent of perfume that had been carried by the wind from his last steps now left an emptiness that stabbed the chest. There was no warning, no goodbye message. Only the sound of suitcase wheels rolling quickly, cutting through the silence of the departure terminal, forcing the reality that the figure they had waited for days was now completely invisible. Girls in purple hoodies and puffy eyes still stood hugging banners that read, "Paris loves Taehyung," as if wishing that time could be turned back. Social media exploded like a meteor hitting the earth. In less than a minute, hashtag Taehyung in Paris turned into hashtag comeback day, and timelines were flooded with the last video, the smile Taehyung threw at the crowd from behind the car window. It was not just a smile, but a final memory that is now repeated millions of times as a solace. Some screamed hysterically, while others stared silently at the empty Champs-Élysées this morning. Paris, usually celebrated as the most romantic city in the world, has now turned into a stage for endless collective heartbreak. A fan hugged her Polaroid camera tightly. "I just want to capture 1 second with her," she murmured softly, her tears dripping right into the blurry photo that captured Taehyung's silhouette in the distance. Every frame was now proof that he was really here, and gone. Not a single reporter managed to capture where his plane was headed. This surprising silence only made the sense of loss worse. Like a magical illusion that just evaporated, Taehyung left a trace that time could not erase. For those who had waited in the cold morning just to see a glimpse of his hair blowing in the wind, today felt like being left without a promise of returning. Someone even wrote a poem on the sidewalk near the hotel where Taehyung had stayed, as if hoping that words could call him home. The Grand Charles de Gaulle Airport has become an unofficial mourning hall, where everyone hugs each other with red eyes and bitter smiles. No one knows where to go from here. Paris is too big a city to be left alone with a longing that doesn't know where to go. Tears break out when one fan replays a short video of Taehyung waving to the camera. "He's looking at me, I'm sure," she says before covering her face with a purple scarf. Behind the glass window of a cafe, a barista also wipes away tears, joining the tsunami of unstoppable emotions. Many feel like they're having their first heartbreak, even though they know that this separation is only temporary. But for fans who pin their hopes on every appearance of Taehyung, his departure is the end of an unfinished dream. In one of the gardens where Taehyung used to sit quietly staring at the night sky, now stands a wreath of flowers and small candles that burn softly. They call it the altar of love, a symbol of a feeling too big to explain with words. Even the Eiffel Tower looked gloomy this morning, as if mourning the loss of the sparkle that had once brightened the city. A street musician changed the love song to a melancholy tune, playing "Winter Bear" with a trembling guitar strum. There was no press conference, no official photos. Only silence wrapped the mystery of why he had to leave so soon. Time seemed to stop beating since the news broke, leaving empty spaces in the hearts of fans who had only just dared to hope. No one expected this brief meeting to end with a wound this deep. Everything felt too fast, too quiet, too painful to digest in one day. Many were still standing rooted to the spot since last night, hoping the news was wrong. They didn't ask for much, just one more wave. One more smile. 1 second to say, "See you later." But Taehyung left without a word, and that left an emptiness that even Paris couldn't heal. The phone screen kept lighting up, notifications kept ringing, but there was no message from Taehyung. As if the universe was teaching about loss to those who weren't ready to let go. They loved him, unconditionally, and now they must learn to love in silence. The cloudy sky slowly turned into a light rain, as if feeling the pain of the armies who were still standing at the hotel gate. "He will definitely come back," one of them whispered, trying to cheer up a heart that was almost broken by reality. Every corner of the city holds a story that will never be forgotten. The story of a star who came bringing light and left leaving an invisible wound. Taehyung is not just an idol, he is a dream that touched the ground of Paris, then flew back to the sky. And even though his footsteps are no longer heard, traces of his emotions remain in the air. Taehyung left Paris, but his heart remains among those who wait with unconditional love. This is not goodbye, just a pause in an unfinished symphony of feelings. If one day he reads all the messages left behind, maybe he will know that the love he brought to Paris never left. It stayed, grew, and became a legend. And until that time comes, the fans can only hope, cry, and continue to love, in silence. Night fell slowly, bringing a cold air that was sharper than usual. On the banks of the Seine, a group of fans still gathered, reminiscing about moments they only felt once in a lifetime. One of them turned on a small speaker, and from there the song, Scenery, played softly, as if letting Taehyung's warm voice weave back the hearts torn apart by his departure. They sat in silence, sharing blankets and stories, looking up at the same sky that their idol had once seen, hoping that he would also think of them from above. In souvenir shops near the Louvre, Taehyung-themed posters and dolls suddenly sold well. The shop owners were confused, but also smiled at how love could move the economy so fast. No one expected that the presence of a Korean man could change the pulse of a city. Paris had become a stage, and Taehyung the main actor in a real drama that stirred the emotions of millions of pairs of eyes. Meanwhile, local media began to highlight this phenomenon. They called it the Taehyung effect, an emotional wave that hit Paris after his departure. Residents who previously did not know who BTS were began to be interested, finding out about the man with the melancholic gaze and soft voice who made thousands of people cry at the airport. Article after article appeared, analyzing how strong Taehyung's appeal was in building connections without language. But behind the excitement and virality of this news, there is an invisible silence. Many fans choose to remain silent, embracing their own memories, unable to write a single word on social media. For them, this farewell is too personal to be shared. They just want to remember it in their hearts, like a sweet secret that doesn't need to be explained to the world. Because for those who truly love, Taehyung's presence is not just about concerts or performances, but about how he makes them feel alive, even from a distance. And now, when his plane has long taken off and the Paris sky is dark again, all that remains are the memories that continue to beat on every road he passes. His traces may have disappeared from the asphalt, but his name echoes on the walls of the hearts he has touched. Taehyung has indeed left Paris. But the love that was created among the old buildings and stone bridges will be eternal, like a song that never really ends. Tomorrow Paris may be bustling again, with busy traffic and tourists passing by as usual, but for those who witnessed this event with their own eyes, this city will never be the same again, because amidst the roar of vehicles and the glittering city lights, there will always be an empty space filled by Taehyung's shadow, and on every street corner, they will continue to search for his silhouette, as if hoping that a miracle will happen once more. That maybe, just maybe, he will return. In the silence of the night that closed this event, there is one undeniable truth. Taehyung's presence not only touched the heart, but bewitched the soul. For many, he was not just a celebrity, but a sign of hope, that tenderness, warmth, and sincerity can still be found in this fast-paced and noisy world. And when he left, what was left behind was not only longing, but also inspiration. Many of them began to write again, paint again, dream again, because they had been under the light he radiated, even if only for a moment. The next few days may feel lonely, when there are no more notifications announcing his whereabouts in Paris, no more sudden news about the cafe he visited, or the clothes he wore that day. However, this loss actually strengthens the bond that has long been established between Taehyung and his fans. Behind the timeline that has begun to calm down, there are thousands of hearts that are still replaying those brief moments in their heads, making it a story that will continue to be told again and again, about the day when Paris was not only a city of light, but also a city of tears. Because that is how Taehyung lives in memory, not through luxury or the splendor of the stage, but through small seconds that are full of meaning. A gentle gaze from behind the car window, a brief smile that erases the tiredness of the journey, or even the way he walks slowly on the sidewalk at night. Every movement is like a poem written without ink, but immediately embedded in the soul. And even though his time in Paris is over, the love he left behind will continue to grow, spreading silently, reviving the city every time his name is mentioned. Taehyung, who left without saying goodbye, but forever lives in the heart. Now, after all the hustle and bustle has subsided and the atmosphere has returned to calm, fans have begun to find ways to cure their longing. They have created murals on city walls, written letters that will never be sent, and composed memorable videos with soft music that Taehyung once sang. In each of these works, they not only express their loss, but also celebrate their presence, a form of gratitude for having been in the orbit of a miracle that not everyone has the chance to experience. Their love is not a momentary hysteria, but a bond of souls that cannot be explained by logic.
I think is amazing, waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits, some losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip, you choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift. Oh,
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world world